everybody, my name is Alain, otherwise known as Heeswee, and I'm from ReverseThieves.com as well as the Speakeasy podcast. And this is another Riot Control review that I do on my own because the show is probably either too bad for Kate to watch or it's a sequel, but I decided to talk about it anyway. And this time it is definitely the first case because I'm talking about Cross Ange. And I didn't really know too much about this show at first. We saw the character designs, and it was like, man, this looks like a really fan-servicey robot show, but it looks like it takes itself deadly seriously. Like, it doesn't look like it's a Goldenar style. Yeah, there's lots of fan service, but it's going to be fun, so you can, like, overlook the fan service, because it's fun robot action. But no. This looks like it's for serious Sunrise robot show, and so we weren't going to watch it, but then Pat's from the cockpit was talking to me about the show and how controversial it was, and then like the internet exploded about it. So I'm like, all right, sometimes the internet overreacts and sometimes there's a good reason for a story to be how it is. So let me see it for myself and see how bad it is. And after this, I see what they were trying to do. And I think that's important to understand why this show turns out the way it does. And what they were trying to do, in their heart of hearts, oddly enough, is make a show about a woman who thought she was strong and thought she knew how the world works and how everybody else saw her as strong. Then it takes that away from her so she can rebuild herself with true strength. And if the show writers were able to accomplish that, it might be an interesting story. The problem is, they just do not know how to do that properly. Because this show totally fails at doing that. Because it is just horrible. And so, when people say that this show is horrible, they're not incorrect. But I feel like it might have actually genuinely come from a positive place. I mean, it could just be a horrible exploitation show that just pretends like the girl is gaining strength. But that's really just another form of fetish. I'm not going to put it totally past this show to be that horrible. But I'm going to give it the benefit of the doubt and assume it was trying to be a thoughtful, almost feminist tale. But it is not. It is not. I mean, once again, when people say that that girl, the main character Angie, gets anally raped and it is super exploitive, they are not exaggerating. It is totally anal rape and it is totally super exploitive. And if you for some reason don't think it was, then the illusion is totally stripped off by the next episode preview, which basically goes, oh my god, did you see what happened to the main character? I thought this was going to be a cute girl, but shoujo robot show. Oh my god. And that is not really an exaggeration. I might have gotten the exact wording correct, but that is pretty much what they say. So it is like, all right, you guys knew exactly what you were doing, and you're kind of horrible. Really just utterly horrible. A part of it I also feel is Sunrise trying to outdo the rape scene from Valvrave the Liberator, and you don't want to outdo that. I mean, that scene was horrible. You don't want to be like, yeah, that was pretty shocking, but I think we could go one step farther. Sunrise, just don't. No. Stop. And I mean, the rest of the show is just kind of super ham-fisted in a way, once again, kind of like Valvrave. And like the brother is super evil and he totally wants to get it on with Nunnally's sister because she is a girl in a wheelchair like Nunnally. And she is totally Nunnally's sister. I mean, she has a different name and a slightly different personality, but it's only slightly different. And yeah. And I feel like part of the reason that the brother gets his mundane sister thrown in jail and, you know, has his whole coup is just so he can get it on with Nunnally's sister, which is just an unnecessary level of creepy. But, I mean, technically the story is about Angie, who lives in this magical kingdom that also has robots. And if you are an anti-magic person, a person who doesn't do magic, you can disrupt magic. And then, since everything in this society is based on magic, you become this enemy of the state, a non-human. And at first, Angie thinks that non-magical people are horrible non-humans, but then her evil brother reveals that she is a mundane and non-magical, and then they kill her mom and dispose her dad and throw her in magical exploitation women's prison, and now everybody's gonna be super mean to her and sexually assault her, and eventually I guess she'll learn to be strong through death and hardship. But really, I feel like this is feminist like that Zack Snyder Sucker Punch movie is feminist. Like, if you had no idea what feminist was, then if you're some kind of men's right advocate kind of guy, you might think this is feminist. But no, like Sucker Punch, it is totally not. And it's kind of horrible. And the outfits are super dumb and super exploitive, and there's really no reason to watch this show. If you've heard only bad things about this show, they're probably true. They might be slightly exaggerated, but they're probably not. And they're just much better things to watch this season. So, if anything, you need a mecha show, just go and watch G in Reconquista, because it's Tomono insanity goodness, and skip Cross Ange unless you like horrible exploitive garbage. Alright, see you guys next time.